Aber was ich so ein bisschen komisch finde, das Gift, ne? Das sollte ja nach 30 Minuten alle umbringen. Aber er schien noch am Leben zu sein. Auch wenn nicht bei Bewusstsein.
Huh? Why? Why is Fuzzhead here?
Chief Yakou was the only person attacked by the hitman in the lab. In other words, the chief was the hitman's target. But Chief Yakou tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant. He hid it knowing it'd be an important clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yakou himself. It was given to the hitman so he'd know his target, and the chief tried to conceal it. Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
Hold on, Master! Are you serious? You're really saying Fuzzhead is the culprit? Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder? He's knocking on death's door just for this?
I don't want to believe it either, but there's no other way.
Don't forget this stuff.
Kampf gegen Vivia.
The phantom vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter, but I'll do it anyway. Because it's something I must do. While the chief takes his final breaths.
Vivia.
Yuma. If Chief Yakou is the culprit, then what about that death threat?
Dr. Wesker muss mit seinem Leben für seine Sünden bezahlen. Meine Klinge soll seine Sühne sein.
Why would the chief send it? If he was the killer? Answer me, Yuma.
Warum schickte Yakou die Todesdrohung?
By sending that note, everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger. Which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master detectives headed to the secret lab because of that note. Chief Yakou brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Huh? Their abilities?
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all?
Warum wurde die Morddrohung an die Friedenswächter verschickt?
The note was sent to the peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene. The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility. They did it by disguising themselves as peacekeepers.
It would be convenient to have a lot of peacekeepers around if you want to get into the lab disguised as one.
This is why the peacekeepers also received the death threat.
Hey, you still want to do this? It's not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger. I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. this is something I must do. I can't leave the chief like this.
Vivia.
Let's continue, Yuma. So, everyone disguised themselves as peacekeepers and entered the lab. You were already at the lab, and that's where you met up with the chief, right?
Yes, but we decided to split up after the blackout occurred.
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the peacekeepers will see us. I knew it. This place is crawling with them.
What do we do?
I'll draw their attention to buy some time. In the meantime, you two hurry to that doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it.
Derjenige, der ihn
Was that
verursacht
also the
hat.
chief?
Wäre das nicht schwer gewesen? Er war ja an einem anderen Ort. Yakou. Think.
The chief was with me in the security room at the time of the blackout. It's impossible for him to have caused it. So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
But why?
Warum?
It made us think the doctor was in danger, so we'd go check on him. We used Amapal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. Chief Yakou had it all planned out from the start. He used us to break through the security so he could kill the doctor.
Das scheint die ganze Wahrheit hinter diesem Fall zu sein.
So, Master using Amapal and the sheltered skank's time rewinding ability at the panel chamber? That was all part of Fuzzhead's plan?
The only way to get past security was to use both Amapal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like he trusted us. He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
I'm counting on you both. See you later.
Trust? How could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all. He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used you all to get away with murder! Out of all the criminals I've ever met, he's the worst coward of them all! Master, grab that coward and...
Enough!
Why did it have to come to this? Chief Yakou saved me. He took me in. I had lost everything, even my memories. Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times, but still, I really admired him. So, why? Why did you do it?
Das Bild.
Is this about the woman in the picture? Chief, please tell me, or I...
There's no point in asking. That's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real
Aber wer ist diese Frau? Ist es seine Frau? Seine Tochter?
The phantoms are a reflection of the same people in the real world, right? Which means he should hold the same thoughts. The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding. But that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it. The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face. He knew the truth would be exposed if that photo was found, so he hid it behind the potted plant. He left his blood on it, almost like he wrote a dying message. But in truth, it was actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
Master, I think you know this, but to exit the mystery labyrinth, you will have to eliminate the culprit.
Ja.
Eliminate? The chief?
Aber wird er nicht sowieso sterben?
Are you really going to do this?
Durch das Gift?
After all the mysteries are solved, the chief back in the real world will die. But you saw yourself, Yuma. The chief is already knocking on death's door.
Ja, eben.
Will you still bury him in the name of truth?
The chief took me in when I had no memories, or anyone to turn to. I trusted him from the bottom of my heart. Now, I have to end his life?
You know, I liked it, surprisingly. The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Vivia, you knew the truth behind this case from the very beginning.
I had a hunch. Because of my spectral projection, I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time.
Er hatte ja auch mal im zweiten Kapitel, war es glaube ich, erwähnt, dass er nicht mehr viel Zeit übrig hätte, aber ich weiß nicht, was genau er damit meinte.
But I pretended not to see. I admired him and the world he had made.
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative in the investigation.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. But I tried my best to keep you away. Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the chief nor you.
Master, you've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here? Didn't you say you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Vivia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction. The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be. Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue. If you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the chief's soul called out to us?
Huh?
Als wir die Projektion genutzt haben.
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is harsh too. In the end, You can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it? When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma.
Entrust what?
You signed a pact with the Death God in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction. As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it, cruel as it may be. I want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices.
Wir sind Komplizen.
If you must bring down the chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I, too, want to live with my head held high. Because I, too, am a detective.
Vivia.
When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I understand, Chief Yakou. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Und das ist wohl sein Ende. Beenden wir das Ganze, wie wir es immer tun. Aber es gibt immer noch eine Sache, die ich nicht so ganz verstehe. Warum wollte Yomi ihn unbedingt so sehr schützen? Es kann ihm doch vollkommen egal sein, ob jetzt Yakou der Täter war oder nicht. Oder? Er war doch die ganze Zeit gegen die Meisterdetektive. Oder habe ich irgendetwas vollkommen übersehen hier? Etwas nicht verstanden. Gut, wo fangen wir jetzt hier am besten mal an? Wo befindet sich das geheime Labor? Aber gleichzeitig heißt das auch, dass Fubuki und alle anderen Meisterdetektive scheinbar überleben werden, oder? Weil lediglich Yakou hat diesen Plan halt geplant, auch wenn die anderen involviert waren. Das ist zumindest etwas Positives hier. Wie wurde mit dem kommuniziert? Warte mal. Sorry, ich bin gerade vollkommen in Gedanken hier. Hier, das muss hier hin. Aber geiler Fall auf jeden Fall. Was haben wir ja noch? Wie kam der Täter am Sicherheitssystem vorbei? Ja, hier mit dem Ding hier, oder was? Oder? Muss ja. Okay. Was haben wir ja noch? Wir haben jetzt auch das Messer. Wessen Kraft wurde im Plattenraum verwendet? Ah ne, das ist das hier. Das Messer. Mit welcher Mordwaffe? Okay. Wird dann wohl das hier sein, oder? So. Aber jetzt mal ganz ehrlich. Kann es Yakou nicht egal gewesen sein, ob er jetzt durch das Gift gestorben wäre oder durch den Killer? Ich meine, was würde das für einen Unterschied machen, ob wir jetzt wissen, dass er der Täter ist oder nicht? Also die Relevanz davon verstehe ich jetzt noch nicht so ganz, um ehrlich zu sein. Hier hat er sich versteckt. Das kam, jetzt bin ich schon... Muss ich hier irgendwo... Moment, das kam ganz am Anfang, ne? In der Reihenfolge zumindest. Hier. Also nicht ganz am Anfang, aber schon relativ nah dran am Anfang. Amaterasu, da war, wo das Gebäude ist. Hier? Genau. Was haben wir hier noch? Friedenswächter, genau. Der Brief wurde auch an die Friedenswächter geschickt. So. Huch, falsche Taste. So, was haben wir jetzt hier noch? Fink, Fubukis Kräfte. Mit den Kräften von Fubuki ist er durch das Zimmer gekommen. Hier, oder? Genau. Dann hätten wir noch hier Fink. Der müsste dann als vorletztes kommen. Wer hat den Täter getötet? So. Und zu guter Letzt Yakou. Er ist der wahre Mastermind hinter diesem Fall.
Step right up, step right up! Peacekeepers, a CEO, a research doctor, a hitman, and master detectives! 2 dead bodies, but lots of shady characters! Truth bombs are about to be dropped! Time for the deduction denouement!
The victim in this case is one Dr. Weska. This incident features a sinister and meticulously detailed plot centered on the doctor.
The old geezer was holed up inside a lab at Amaterasu HQ. He was a total hermit in the critical lab, with a totally overkill security system.
The culprit made thorough preparations beforehand to break through that system.
Boom killing a shut-in is hard work. The humane thing to do is to reintroduce him to society first.
Yeah, with that out of the way. Posing as a hitman, the culprit sent a death threat to the Peacekeepers, the detective agency, and the research lab. At the same time, they contracted a real hitman and had him infiltrate the research facility.
They spilled the beans about Gramps being in danger to lure both the Peacekeepers and the detectives to the lab.
You see, the master detective's presence at the scene was an indispensable part of the plan. It was how the culprit gained access to the research facility, after all. The hitman infiltrated the lab exactly as planned. And we arrived with Mikoto at the same time.
Stuff went down, blah blah blah, and Master got locked up by that Yomi guy.
I was rescued by Desuhiko and the culprit, who were disguised as peacekeepers. With the real peacekeepers rushing around, the culprit took advantage of the turmoil to sneak into the lab. But after catching up with them, the power suddenly went out, separating the culprit from the rest of the group.
The blackout itself was caused by the hitman, right? And getting separated was all part of the culprit's plan.
Right. They used the blackout as an opportunity to hide in the vents in the airlock chamber. Afterwards, we headed to the critical lab to check on the doctor's condition, just like the culprit directed us. But since that lab used a separate power supply, nothing strange had happened.
This whole the doctor's in danger spiel was an act, huh? He made a fool of you, Master. What a dick!
But then, someone attacked the doctor while we were trying to talk with him over the intercom. We had to get into the doctor's lab.
But that time, the old geezer was playing games with us. And he even tried to kill you and the others with a trap! That bastard wanted to use your dead bodies! He really got you there, Master!
I don't see why you're so happy about it. The doctor's sham made the case even more confusing. Even if we tried to get to the doctor, the critical lab was guarded by tight security. The The only way through was by using an Amapel. The culprit rode on it by emerging from their hiding place in the airlock vent and jumping onto the robot's head.
All aboard the Amapal Express! First stop, a shower of toxic gas! Humans can't protect themselves against the gas, but since it's not instantly fatal, it wasn't a problem. Next up, the panel chamber and high-voltage shocks! One wrong move, and he was insta-death! But thanks to that sheltered skink, we got all the continues we could want. So, we managed a perfect clear! The critical lab was finally breached!
The culprit had anticipated we would get through this way. They also knew they would die over and over as a result. The camera feed was affected when the culprit jumped on. I should have realized what was happening.
No use crying over spilt blood. On to the next thing! Where were we? Oh yeah! To open the door to the doctor's lab, Amapal had to reach out its arm and hit a switch. And when the door opened wide enough for a person to squeeze through, the killer snuck inside.
Amapel can't follow any new commands while its arm is extended, so the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
Then, the culprit boom-killed the old geezer using the same knife as the hitman. Gramps was pretty much deaf, so a backstab was easy peasy.
Then, the murderer tried to leave the room before Amapel entered. They knocked the robot over on the way out.
They then went back into the airlock chamber vent to wait for you and the others to go by.
We entered the critical lab and found the doctor's body. The culprit used that time to get out of the vent and head for the hallway.
That was when they were found by the hitman. And stabbed.
They'd already been in contact with the toxic gas, so death was inevitable. However, dying by gas would expose them as the doctor's killer. So they hired the hitman to kill them, thereby concealing any involvement.
I guess that means the killer completely trusted in the Master Detective's capabilities. They knew those powers would get them close to the doctor. But why were they willing to die to hide the crime?
I can't say for certain. Was it his pride as a detective? Did he simply not want his friends to know? Whatever it may be, I'm prepared to face the truth. The culprit who murdered Dr. Weska, and even included his own death in the plot.
Yakou Furio! It was you!
Und das ist wohl die ganze Wahrheit hinter diesem 5. Kapitel.
I will expose the truth! But why?
Aber jetzt mal ganz ehrlich, was macht es überhaupt für einen Unterschied, ob er jetzt durch das Gift stirbt, durch den Killer stirbt oder durch uns stirbt? Letztendlich wäre er durch das Gift ja so oder so gestorben, oder? Macht es nicht, ist es nicht so ziemlich dasselbe?
Chief Yakou, why? Why didn't you ever talk to us about this? Why did it have to end this way? Why didn't you tell us? Is this really what you wanted? Can you even hear me?
It It doesn't matter who it is. Exterminating the real culprit's soul and destroying the mystery labyrinth. That's why I'm here.
Keine letzten Worte.
Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. Through into the final mystery labyrinth.